Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a conversation between a customer and a travel agency receptionist about booking a trip. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, Adventure Expeditions. Sarah speaking. How can I help you today?
Good morning, Sarah. My name is David Chen, and I'm calling about the Mountain Majesty trip advertised on your website. I'm hoping to book a spot.
Ah, Mr. Chen, excellent choice. That's a very popular expedition. We still have a few places left for the next departure. Can I just confirm your full name for our records?
Certainly. It's David, D-A-V-I-D, and Chen, C-H-E-N. David Chen.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. And could I ask for your date of birth as well? We need that for insurance purposes.
Of course. It's the 18th of May, 1985. So the 18th of May, 1985.
Got it. And a contact phone number, please? Preferably a mobile.
Yes, it's 07700900543. Did you get that?
Let me just repeat that. 077-009-00543. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. Perfect.
And finally, an email address so we can send you the booking confirmation and trip details.
Sure, it's david.chen, that's david.chen, @email.com. Simple as that.
david.chen@email.com. Excellent. Now, just a few more details about the trip itself. You're looking at the Mountain Majesty expedition. The next available departure is on the 10th of June. Is that the one you're interested in?
Yes, the 10th of June sounds perfect. I've heard great things about it.
It truly is. Just to let you know, we keep our group sizes small to ensure a personal experience. The maximum number of people on this particular trip is 12. This helps us maintain the quality and safety of the expedition.
That's good to hear. I prefer smaller groups anyway. It makes it easier to get to know everyone. And what about equipment? Is there anything specific I need to bring?
Well, we provide all the specialist climbing and safety gear. However, for the daily hikes, it's essential that participants bring their own sturdy walking boots. Comfortable, waterproof boots are crucial for the varied terrain.
Okay, so good hiking boots are a must. I have a good pair, so that's fine. I was also wondering about the activities. I saw on the itinerary that there's a river activity. Is that whitewater rafting?
That's a good question. Many people confuse them. While we do offer whitewater rafting on some of our other trips, for Mountain Majesty, the river activity included in the price is kayaking. It's a fantastic way to explore the river at a more relaxed pace, but still, very adventurous.
Ah, kayaking. That sounds even better, actually. I've always wanted to try that. And the mountain trek itself, what's the biggest challenge there? Is it the steepness?
The trek certainly has some steep sections, and it's a good distance, but what most participants find the most challenging, and indeed the most unpredictable, is the weather. Mountain weather can change very quickly, from bright sunshine to fog or even light snow in a matter of hours. That's why we emphasize being prepared for all conditions.
Right, I'll definitely pack layers then. And finally, you mentioned evening activities. Is there anything specific I should bring for those?
Yes, absolutely. We often have campfire gatherings or stargazing sessions, which are wonderful. Because the evenings can get quite cool, even in June, we highly recommend bringing some warm clothing. Think thick jumpers, hats and gloves. It will make your experience much more enjoyable.
Warm clothing. Got it. Thank you so much for all this information, Sarah. I'm ready to book.
Excellent. I'll just process that for you now.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear a tour guide giving an orientation talk to new university students about the campus facilities. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning everyone, and a very warm welcome to City Central University. My name is Michael, and I'll be your guide for today's orientation tour. We're going to explore some of the key facilities here on campus, so you know exactly where everything is when you start your studies next week. This tour will last approximately 90 minutes, so please make sure you're comfortable and feel free to ask any questions as we go along. First, I want to draw your attention to this large notice board right by the main entrance. This is your go-to place for all official university announcements, upcoming events, and important deadlines. It's updated daily, so please make a habit of checking it regularly. Don't rely solely on emails. Sometimes the most urgent information is here. Right, let's start with the central hub of any university, the library. We're heading towards the main library building now, which you can see directly ahead. This isn't just a place for books, it's a fantastic resource center. On the ground floor, you'll find a large, vibrant cafe, perfect for grabbing a coffee or a quick bite between study sessions. It's often busy, but there's plenty of seating. Moving on, I want to talk a bit about student life outside of academics. The university strongly believes in a holistic educational experience. That's why we encourage all students to join at least one club or society. We have over 100 different clubs, catering to every interest, from sports to drama to academic societies. It's a brilliant way to meet new people and enhance your university experience. And speaking of resources, something that many new students don't realize is that the university provides free software licenses for all enrolled students. This includes a full suite of office productivity tools, statistical analysis packages, and even some specialized design software depending on your course. It's a huge saving, so make sure you take advantage of it. Now let's talk about some specific locations on campus and what you can find there. We're currently standing right outside the Student Union building. This is an incredibly important place for your overall student experience. Beyond the social spaces, the Student Union also houses the Careers Advice Service. So, if you're ever thinking about your future job prospects or need help with your CV, that's where you go. Next, we'll walk past the North Wing. This part of the campus is primarily dedicated to administrative services. You'll find things like the finance office here, but most importantly for you, it's where you'll find the dedicated IT support desk. If you have any issues with your university account, your laptop, or accessing Wi-Fi, the North Wing is your destination. Further along, towards the end of this main path, you'll see a large, modern building known as the Main Hall. Despite its name, it's not just for large lectures. The ground floor of the Main Hall is where our University Health Center is located. We have doctors and nurses available throughout the week for any medical needs you might have during your studies. Moving over to the western side of the campus, you'll find what we call the West Campus Center. This is a very lively area. It's a multi-purpose complex that includes a gym, swimming pool, and various courts. So if you're interested in staying active, the West Campus Center offers all the sports facilities you could need. And finally, just across from the West Campus Center, you'll see a smaller red brick building. This is the South Block. It's often overlooked, but it's where you'll find the main print services on campus. If you need to print essays, research papers, or even posters for presentations, this is the most affordable and convenient place to do it. Right, any questions so far?
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear 3 university students, Anya, Ben, and Chloe, discussing their group project on the impact of social media. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Alright everyone, let's get this project meeting started. So our topic is the impact of social media on modern society, which is pretty broad, but I think we can narrow it down. I was thinking we could focus on its influence on consumer behavior, especially how it affects purchasing decisions.
That's an interesting angle, Anya. My initial thought was something about its role in spreading misinformation, but consumer behavior sounds more manageable for a group project. It's a huge area, though. What do you think, Chloe?
I agree with Ben. It's a good direction. It's very relevant to current trends, too. The main challenge I foresee, besides managing our time effectively, which is always an issue, will be accessing reliable data. Social media data can be really tricky to get hold of and interpret, especially when you're looking for causation.
You're right about the data, Chloe. That's definitely going to be our biggest hurdle. But I think if we focus on publicly available studies and reputable sources, we can make good progress. So about our research methods, are we thinking surveys, interviews, or something else?
I was leaning towards online surveys to gather a large quantity of data quickly, but I'm open to other ideas.
Online surveys can be good for quantity, but the quality of answers can sometimes be superficial. For a project like this, I think we'd get much more depth if we focus primarily on synthesizing findings from existing academic journals. We can then supplement that with some of our own qualitative research.
I think Chloe's got a point. Academic journals offer a robust foundation. We can always add some direct feedback later. What about deadlines? Our interim report is due pretty soon, isn't it?
Yeah, the interim report submission is definitely the main one we need to keep in mind for now. It's in about 3 weeks, I think. That's a much tighter deadline than the final essay or the presentation date.
Definitely. So for the primary research, I was thinking we could conduct some focus groups. That way we can get more in-depth conversations and insights that surveys might miss. It's a good way to get direct feedback.
That's a great idea, Chloe. Who should we target for these focus groups? Should it be general consumers or a specific demographic?
I think to make it manageable, and given the nature of social media, we should concentrate on young adults, maybe those aged 18 to 25. They're heavy users and their consumer habits are heavily influenced by social media, so it makes sense.
Perfect. And just to reiterate, for a good group mark, clear communication among us is going to be a key factor. Let's make sure we're always on the same page.
Agreed. So let's assign some initial tasks for the interim report. For the literature review section, I can take the lead on that. I'll aim to have a first draft by next Friday, so you two can review it.
Sounds good, Anya. And for the survey design, if we're going with focus groups, I can start drafting the discussion questions and the recruitment strategy. I'll try to have that ready by the end of the month.
Excellent, and I can start thinking about the presentation graphics. Even though the main presentation isn't until much later, getting a head start on the visual concepts will be helpful. I'll aim to have some initial designs and a template ready for our next meeting, say, by next Tuesday.
That's brilliant, Chloe. So literature review by next Friday for me, survey design by end of month for Ben, and presentation graphics by next Tuesday for Chloe. This is a solid plan. Let's touch base again then.
Sounds good. See you all then.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a lecture on the topic of urban farming. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're delving into a fascinating and increasingly relevant topic: urban farming. For centuries, cities have been seen as places of consumption, reliant on rural areas for their food supply. However, this perception is slowly but surely changing. Urban farming, in various forms, has a rich history, far predating its modern resurgence. In ancient civilizations, for instance, it wasn't uncommon for city dwellers to cultivate small plots of land or manage household gardens. This practice became particularly vital during times of crisis or economic hardship, helping city residents cope with food shortages and ensuring a degree of self-sufficiency. It was a practical necessity rather than a green movement. Fast forward to the 20th century, and we see the rise of what became known as victory gardens during the World Wars. These were private or community gardens planted in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom to reduce pressure on public food supply due to the war effort. They demonstrated how even small urban spaces could contribute significantly to national food security. This was a powerful example of collective effort. Now, in the 21st century, urban farming has evolved considerably. It's no longer just about small backyard plots. We're seeing innovative approaches, particularly with modern urban farms often utilizing vertical structures, such as converted warehouses, or specially designed multi-story buildings. This approach maximizes space in densely populated urban environments, making it economically viable. The benefits of urban farming are manifold. Environmentally, it significantly reduces the food miles, meaning the distance food travels from farm to plate. This, in turn, leads to reduced transport costs and lower carbon emissions. Furthermore, these green spaces within cities can absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, thus improving the quality of local air. They also contribute to managing stormwater runoff, alleviating pressure on drainage systems. However, it's not without its challenges. One of the primary challenges for implementing large-scale urban farms, especially in major cities, is the exceptionally high cost of land. Urban real estate is premium, making it difficult for agricultural enterprises to compete. Additionally, access to sufficient sunlight in built-up areas can be a constraint, requiring technological solutions. Despite these challenges, various models of urban farming are flourishing. Take rooftop gardens, for example. While they may not produce food on a commercial scale, they offer tremendous environmental advantages. They contribute to urban biodiversity, provide insulation for buildings, reducing energy consumption for heating and cooling, and can also help mitigate the urban heat island effect by cooling city surfaces. Then there are community gardens, which are perhaps the most widespread form of urban agriculture. These shared green spaces are not just about growing food. They play a crucial role in fostering social cohesion and well-being. They bring diverse groups of people together, promote intergenerational learning, and offer accessible green spaces for relaxation and connection with nature within the urban fabric. They are less about profit and more about community. And of course, we must consider the cutting-edge innovations. Indoor vertical farms, for instance, are revolutionizing the concept of urban food production. These controlled environments use advanced technologies like hydroponics, where plants are grown in water, and aeroponics, using mist, combined with precisely tuned LED lighting. This allows for year-round cultivation, higher yields and minimal water use, independent of external weather conditions. In conclusion, urban farming is much more than a niche activity. It is a powerful tool for enhancing food security, promoting environmental sustainability, and building stronger communities within our cities. While obstacles remain, the rapid pace of technological innovation and increasing public awareness mean that urban farming holds great potential for future urban sustainability, playing a vital role in how we feed ourselves and shape our urban landscapes for generations to come. Thank you.
And pencils down. You've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's SPINTA.org, where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta. Push forward. Achieve more.